Okay, so we are going to pick up with 2 more battles in our notes before we move on to the atomic bombs, and I'm going to that's going to be the beginning of what I address with you in class tomorrow. So we'll just do in the screencast Iwo Jima and Okinawa. So Iwo Jima was one of the fiercest battles during island hopping. This island was of strategic importance to the Allies because if they could secure the island, then they would have a base for their bombers that could try to reach Japan eventually. But the issue was that Japan was very heavily, Iwo Jima was very heavily defended. It had a entrenched system of tunnels and caves, and the Japanese were prepared to brutally defend the island. So about 70,000 Marines stormed the islands and were able to capture the mountain named Mount Suribachi, but you don't have to know the name of the mountain, but they captured the mountain that was the highest point of the island. So they captured the highest point of the island in about 4 days. Now, of those 70,000 Marines, 6,000 died trying to take the island. And that was more than any other battle in the Pacific up to that point. Of the approximate 20,000 Japanese troops that were on the island, only 200 survived. Now, many of you have seen the picture on the slide. It's kind of cut off, and I'm sorry, but it is the image of the flag, American flag, being raised on the top of that mountain that was captured. And it's this image that is remade as a Iwo Jima Memorial in D.C. So those of you who attended the D.C. trip saw this memorial. So the Allies raising the American flag took place at Iwo Jima. There is now only one island that stands in the way of the Allies before reaching Japan, and that is Okinawa. So in Okinawa, actually, more fighting took place compared to Iwo Jima. Fiercer fighting. There were more than 1,900 kamikaze attacks by Japanese pilots, and the Japanese pretty much refused to give up. Even more Americans lost their lives in this battle than in Iwo Jima, 7,600. Now, in this battle, 110,000 Japanese lost their lives, including some that committed suicide in order to avoid the shame of surrender. This battle for Okinawa was a good prediction of what a land invasion of Japan would be like. Churchill had predicted that if the Allies decided to invade Japan by land, that it would result in over 1 million American deaths and 1/2 million British deaths. With that being said, this should kind of foreshadow the notes we're going to go over tomorrow of the atomic bombs. So tomorrow we'll go over the atomic bombs being dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. We'll go over VJ Day, Victory in Japan, and then we'll talk about the peace and rebuilding at the end of World War II. Alright, y'all have a good night. Write down questions.